Good morning, students. Today we will start with the chapter Deep Water by William Douglas. This is basically an autobiographical narration, as Douglas himself had such an experience in his childhood. As a child, he had deep rooted fear of water, and once he was knocked down by a powerful wave on a beach while he was with his father. So he got scared of water and dared not to go near it. William Douglas had the longest tenure of any justice serving on the Supreme Court for 36 years. And he basically uh, entered Whitman College, but his studies were interrupted by military service. And he graduated in 1920 and taught in school for 2 years before he attended the school at Columbia at university. Now about the chapter. Douglas was had a desire to learn swimming at the age of 11, and he knew that Yakima River was treacherous and people got drowned in it, and his mother never advised him to try to swim in it. But according to him, YMCA pool was safe as it was only 2 or 3 feet deep at the shallow end and about 9 feet deep at the deep end. And that was a gradual drop. So Douglas' decision to learn swimming was firm. He bought a pair of water wings and went to the pool, paddled with the water wings, imitating others. Now, he had an aversion for water from his childhood. He had once visited a beach with his father at the age of 4 and was knocked down by a powerful wave, because of which he got extremely terrified of water and hence developed an aversion for water. Now, as he had joined YMCA pool to learn swimming, he was getting comfortable with water day by day. But one day he was all alone on the edge of the pool one evening. And a well built young boy came who was probably 18 and was quite muscular with strong arms. And without any reason, he picked Douglas up and tossed him into the deep end. Douglas was terrified and he planned to save himself. He decided to spring up from the bottom of the pool as soon as his toes touched it. And he hopes to pop up like a cock to the surface, lie flat, and paddle to the edge of the pool. His first attempt, he actually bounced with all his strength as soon as the feet touched bottom. He does not rise quickly, rather slowly. He sees only water. He feels suffocating, tries to shout, but no sound could go out. Finally, eyes and nose came out of the water. He tries to raise his legs, but they hung like dead weights. He felt as if something was pulling him downward. The second attempt, again, he went down once again. All his energy was spent up, his lungs ached, and his heart throbbed. He felt dizzy, and he remembered the strategy springs from the bottom of the pool. He feels paralyzed, stiff, and rigid, but somehow reaches the surface. His eyes and nose were out of water, but again he begins to go down once more time. Now, for the third time, down the third time, all his efforts ceased. His legs limped. Blackness swept over his spirits. There was no fear now. There was no terror, no more panic. Everything seemed to be quiet and peaceful. He felt as if he was floating in space and he grew unconscious. Finally, he finds himself lying on the stomach beside the pool, vomiting, and the big bully was still there defending himself, saying that he was only fooling. This dreadful experience haunted him again and again, and he goes to the water of the cascades, but terror seizes him. His legs get paralyzed. He's seized with terror whenever he goes fishing, canoeing, bathing, and swimming. He actually lost the joy of living. Now he decides to overcome his fear of water. He decides to employ an instructor to learn swimming. Goes to a pool, practices 5 days a week, and finally succeeds in his mission. He becomes an expert swimmer. Now, the role of the instructor was very crucial. He put a belt around Douglas, and the rope was attached to a pulley. He taught him how to exhale and inhale, and he made a good swimmer out of Douglas. Finally, the Douglas was still not confident, as he wanted to try in water bodies. He goes to Lake Wentworth in New Hampshire, dives. swims for 2 miles across the lake to Stampact Island, uses all strokes he knew, and terror returns only once. But Douglas overcomes him. So finally, he wants to test himself and goes to Warm Lake. Swims across to the shore and back. Terror does not reappear, so he gave out a cry of victory. The experiences of fear of death and sensation of dying, he learnt, he felt peace in death. Those who encounter terror and conquer it can appreciate it.